Hi everyone, welcome back to episode 11 of A Sky Full of Stars, where we are looking into the past when Akito first met Hikari. So he saw Hikari and he didn't really think it was her. He thinks he's having dreams and he went to sleep for the night. And then he started to think about the time when he first met Hikari, which was when he saw her trying to save a dog stuck in the middle of the river. And before Hikari got to know who this person is, Akito, he ran off because he knows that he's going to be late for class. And we see in this classroom, Miharu was the elementary school teacher, and it was Akito's first day at this school, and Hikari noticed him, and I'm pretty sure Takeichi was that bully that we saw near the end of episode 10, the one with the bandage on his nose, making all these really crude remarks and teasing. And I have a feeling that the dog is actually Kotaro, and that's why Kotaro is so fond of Saya, Kotaro, Akito, and Hikari. But anyways, let's just finish up with this memory arc and hopefully get back to current time. So he's now thinking about lunchtime and what happened back then. And let's see what happens next. So as soon as the class finished and we thanked the teacher, I left the classroom. I couldn't stand the way everyone was staring at me, the weird new kid with wet pants. So I think he didn't really worry because I did something that was more important than appearance, which is saving the dog. Well, that can be fixed. But he made a bad first impression on the kids, so now they kind of look at him in a negative light. And as he heads out into the hallways, Hikari calls out. And she actually says, "Oh, Sarami-kun!" So Hikari followed me out. I started to walk faster, trying to get away. So I wonder what he has against Hikari, who's all energetic, all excited that he's in the same class as her. And obviously she would be upset, because hey, why are you trying to get away from me? I wonder if he's just shy and scared over someone that's all enthusiastic and energetic. Oh, why would you thank me? It wasn't even your dog, wasn't it? But she was gonna save it though, and she couldn't do it without the help of Akito. There you go. Well, I did because I wanted to, so that you don't need to thank me. I don't think he'll say that. And that kind of sounds like a lie. Well, I have to go to the restroom anyway, so, are you gonna come with me? So I think he's trying to ward her off. I'm trying to shake her off and... So Hikari stopped in surprise. An instant look on my face, I entered the male sanctuary of the boys' restroom. So he's trying to get away from her and trying to shake her off. And I think that was the first time he met her, so he's not very comfortable talking to her yet. So apart from the incident in the morning, I passed the first day of my new school without any problems. The girl called Hikari Tokiboshi was unsurprisingly the most popular girl in class. And judging by the way she tried so hard that morning to save a dog she didn't even know, she was a good child. And it's not like I hate her or anything. I just didn't think getting stuck with a girl like that would be a good idea, since I prefer being alone. So yeah, he is shy, and having like this talkative loudmouth next to you kind of makes you feel uncomfortable. A girl like that would surely worry about someone like me all alone, and then everyone would start to imagine things. Especially with that Takeichi bully. And the other girls don't seem to rate Akito very well, because he made a pretty bad appearance on the first day. So it's hard to imagine how painful that is for someone who really wants solitude. Also, guys start to look hard at someone who makes friends with girls right after transferring in. I think they just get jealous. Like, oh, how come he's already popular? I've been here for a long time and she likes the new person more than me, even though she's seen me more than that person. That would not be a good way to create a peaceful school life. I learned this all before. This was my 4th school transfer after all. Oh, so Akito has been jumping place to place. And that's how I started my new school life here. So day 2. The same old thing started. So, I wonder what he wants. And I don't think it's anything pleasant. The guy who looked like the head bully was called Takeichi Kusakabe. And of course he was a head bully. Well, obviously, the way that he talks, his bandage. He was the tallest in the class, and he looked as strong as an ox. So that kind of feeds off his bully attitude. I raised my hand and prepared to speak. I appreciate the invitation, but I'm afraid I can't. I said politely like a gentleman would have, so as not to get on his nerves. Well, I don't think a bully will like that kind of response, because it kind of makes you look weak, and that's the type of person that bullies like to prey on. Or rather, that was the plan. So now I think Takeichi feels that Akito looks weak. It's okay, well, let's take advantage of him. Let's take advantage and... But at least he did try to invite Akito into his ring. Ah, so much for friends. He's probably just wanted me to be a bootlicker like those guys. Well, I prefer to be alone. Sorry. I said with a super cool little smile. Well, as guys, they should have really understood that smile. I don't think so. This guy really gets on my nerves. Right, Take? Man, that was weird. It seemed like they did not get it. In fact, it looked like it had the exact opposite effect I had been hoping for. So what's going on now? So he's gonna play tricks on Akito? So I think it's like, oh. I think he's making it up. It's like, oh, what did you bring? And when he looks down, or Akito looks down, that's when Takeichi gets to knock him. Or give him a nice slap. So what is he touching? Okay, yeah, that trick. So, hey, what's that? So you get curious, you kind of wonder what's going on, and you actually look down, and that's when the bully, he gives you a punch or a slap, and then he laughs at you. Like, haha, you fell for it! Oh no, actually, I think he touched something that was quite valuable, and that got on Akito's nerves, and when he gave him a little slap, that enraged Takeichi. Uh-oh. Wait, no. That was just... Haha, it's mine! So you stole it. Hey, what are you doing? Give that back! Oh, if you want it, come and get it! His two minions stood up in my way to keep me from him. Well, usually if he's not lucky, Akito might be in the office now because, oh, you hit someone! You're going to the office and you're gonna get disciplined. And then Takeichi gets away with everything. Well, the girls in the room must have sensed the dangerous shift in mood and started speaking up. Oh, whatever, just give it back. He started it! Oh, we're just making friends. Ah, classic excuses to try to get away with problems. So saying this, Takeichi unzipped the covering on the case. So let's see what's inside. What's it? So he pulls out a white tube-like object from the case. Not knowing what he held, Takeichi unzipped the cover and took it off. Hey, get your hands off that! No. And one girl was pulling Hikari into the room by her hand. Oh, Take, Hikari's here! Don't worry, she's a girl. She's weak. Well, hold her on guard. So seeing what was going on, Hikari slipped through a gap in the desks and rushed fiercely up to us. So I think before the underlings got a chance to hold Hikari in, she slipped through and now she's up at Takeichi. And Hikari just beat them up. So the minions were routed, and Hikari made her way to Takeichi unopposed. Wow, way to go, Hikari! Ah, you. So I wonder how he's gonna take care of Hikari now that his little friends have conceded defeat, or they were defeated. Oh, okay. So Take opened up the case and he actually saw this tube, which actually is a telescope. I think it's a small telescope, and it's probably delicate. That's why Akito doesn't want anyone else to touch it. But for Take, who cares? Well, they're little kids and they don't really understand what happens if you break something. So seemingly unaware of the surroundings or tension in the air, Hikari stared as it with a gleaming eyes. So I think what might have happened was that Takeichi was going to take out the telescope, play with it to the point where it breaks, and then he just gives it back to Akito all damaged, and he doesn't care about it. It's like, oh, it's broken, who cares? Here, you can have it back. The thing sucks anyways. And Akito's left with all the damage and he has to basically buy a new telescope. So her burning eyes was fixed on the white box in Take's hands. Telescope?
そうだよ、天体望遠鏡だよ。タケ、これどうしたの？こいつが持ってたんだ。
I wonder if he's gonna say, Akito stole from me.
空見くんの？その入れ物、天体望遠鏡だったんだ。
Or like, oh, that was Akito's.
ちょっと貸して。
So he grabbed it from Takeichi and examined it up close.
なんて読むんだっけ？忘れたけど、この名前知ってる。
So she sees the brand name, but she knows what it is.
おい、空見。なんか知らねえけど、こんなもん学校に持ってきていいと思ってんのかよ。そうだそうだ。先生に言いつけるぞ。
Oh, you're bringing items that are distracting. They're not part of education. It's just some kind of toy. And toys are forbidden in school, so we're going to report to the teacher and get you in trouble for bringing toys to this class. Huh? I stayed silent and everyone stared at me. They all probably wonder why I bring a telescope, something you only use at night in school during the day. I doubt anyone could imagine the real reason. But Hikari didn't seem to care about any of that, and she stared just at the telescope jealously.
いいなあ、天体望遠鏡。私ね、お父さんに買ってほしいっておねだりしたんだ。
So Hikari's interested in the telescope, but they can't afford it.
でもダメって言われた。光は秋っぽいからダメだ。どうせすぐ
So I think the fact that she likes something, he buys it for her, and then she only uses it for like 1 or 2 days, and then it's boring. So I think the dad just got tired of her because she buys too many things, and her interest is only transient. So she gets bored and then wants to try something else, and as a result, all that investment goes down the drain.
私って信用ないんだよね。
And now, because of that, the dad doesn't trust her when she wants him to buy her something.
でもしょうがないんだ。前に買ってもらった釣り竿は一匹も魚釣れずにやめちゃったし、ジグソーパズルは3分の1やって止まってるし。
Okay, so she wanted to do fishing, but because she didn't catch any fish, she kind of gave up and lost interest. And then there's the jigsaw puzzle. It was too hard to solve, and she gave up.
ゲームも全部クリアする前にやめちゃうし、宿題よく忘れるし、ご飯は残さず食べるけど、食器をシンクに持っていくのを忘れて怒られるし。
Okay, so I think she did try a lot of things, but it gets too hard, and she just quits. Or shall I say, rage quit. So rage quit on video games, homework, and let's see, and doesn't do her chores correctly.
今度は本当なのって一生懸命お願いしたんだけどね。
So homework, tardiness, and basically leaves a mess.
ばあちゃんが言ってた。一度失った信用はそう簡単には取り戻せないって。
Yeah, that's true. So it's gonna be really hard to get someone's trust back once you break it.
信じて欲しかったらいっぱいいい子にして、それで信頼回復しないといけないんだよ。
Okay? So Hikari had an expression on her face like she understood well the hardships of life and sighed.
どうでもいいよ。お前が親に信用されてない話とか。
I don't think that's a very good question to ask Hikari. So Takichi's like, who cares? That's a very bad...
俺も同じことこないだ母ちゃんに言われたな。
So Hikari had given an incredible, detailed, yet seemingly pointless account of her own fickle nature and how it made her lose her parents' trust. The fact that she wanted something and then she doesn't complete it and then it becomes a waste after several times. Well, however, Takeichi and his minions had listened, and it seemed to quell their aggression. In the meantime, the bell rang and the teacher is back in the room.
あなたたち、チャイム鳴ったわよ。席に着きなさい。
Hey, everyone, the bell has rung, so get back in your seats. So Takeichi and his goons sat down, expressions downcast. Hikari returned to the telescope to the case without the teacher noticing.
ねえ、今度これで星見せてよ。
So she tells Akito, hey, maybe you can show it to me some other time. So I just hooked it back onto the side of my desk without saying anything. Well, with things left like this, Takeichi was sure to pick another fight over something. There had been some stupid teasing, sure, but to be honest, I wasn't kind of relieved by it. Or I was kind of relieved by it. Compared to my schools before this, the teasing had been almost amateur. If not downright childish. So it's like as you know more about Takeichi, you can see how to defeat his bowling tactics. Like if you know how to deal with him, his tactics are easy to defeat and shoot down. Actually, I figured that Hikari coming along to poke her nose in and complicate things would be more of a pain. Well, I hadn't made any friends. The fact that he wants a quiet life with no one on his side. And of course, I wasn't trying to. There you go. I stopped trying ages ago. Besides, who knew how long I'd be here? So the fact that he had to change schools so many times, and he was wondering how long he's gonna be here before he has to change schools again. I just went through each day, holding my breath, trying to ride out the storm. So what is it looking forward to? One day when I finally became an adult and able to decide things for myself, I'd be out of the storm. But right now all I could do was to pray for that day to come soon. So I kind of wonder what Akito wanted to do in the past. Like, what was he looking for? Things went on like that for a month. Everyone seemed to get used to me, the alien transfer student. The days seemed to gain some regularity and tranquility. Then something happened to shake all that to pieces. Another transfer student. Who's this one? I started off that day searching the thickets next to the school building. When I got into school in the morning, my indoor shoes hadn't been in the shoe cabinet. So what is she gonna do now? Now that she kind of wonders wow, it's really hard to oh, I think Taki is actually the bully, so it looks like Hikari's ready to give him another confrontation. There's the first bell. We have to get to class. She said, but she didn't go anywhere. So Hikari was poking her head into another thicket, still looking for my shoes. Okay, so Takeichi's bullying Akito again. This time, he stole his school shoes and hid them somewhere, and basically playing a prank on him. And when Takeichi did the same trick to Hikari once, obviously she did something in return that made it so that he would never dare to do the same trick on Hikari ever again. So I think maybe she's telling Akito, you should think of a good revenge when he does this. Then it'll scare him to the point where he doesn't want, or he doesn't dare to do the same thing on you, or basically gain some respect from bullies that are trying to be tough.
太郎知ってる？早乙女先生んちの犬。
Oh, do you know Taro? He's Saotome teacher's dog. Is he really vicious? I blurted out.
おとなしいよ。もうおじいちゃんだもん。
So, that dog that she saved near the end of episode 10, that was Kotaro.
けど、でっかいんだ。
She stretched both hands out as far as they go. If her size was anything to go by, the dog must have been as big as the Great Dane, but she was probably exaggerating.
タケのやつビビっちゃって。私に泣きついてきたから、しょうがないから取ってきてやったの。
Okay, so I think Hikari gave the shoes. So as revenge, she gave the shoes to Kotaro, or maybe another dog, and the dog scared Takeichi to the point where it kind of burned a piece of memory in his mind.
太郎、私には優しいから。
But you know, Taro's always sweet with me. So I could see that Hikari was Takeichi's natural enemy. So I think she's using the dog as a way to arm herself. Like, if you want to mess with me, I'll send you over to the Kotaro dog, and I'll see how you are gonna deal with him. And that's kind of put some fear into Take or Takeichi. If Takeichi ever tried to bully a girl, Hikari would come flying in and rescue her. The girls in the class lived in relative peace thanks to her. But most of the boys were too embarrassed to have a girl help them, so we had to watch out for ourselves. So having said that, even the worst of Takeichi's bullying had been pretty tame. Just hiding people's shoes.
タケはヘタレだから、本当に捨てたりできないんだ。
He's such a coward. He would never actually throw them away or anything.
前によっちゃんの体操着を川に流しちゃったことがあって、弁償させられて、タケのやつおっちゃんにめちゃめちゃ怒られたんだって。
So a prank gone wrong. So at the end, the parents got the bill.
因果応報だってばあちゃんが言ってた。
In a sense, it's karma. So what goes around comes around? So Hikari nodded with a look like, that's just what I think too. But I wonder if she really knew what karma meant. So they both dropped the conversation and focused on looking for the shoes. And I wonder what else Akito noticed.
ね
Yeah?
え、空見くんはどうして友達作ろうとしないの？
I wonder why you don't make friends with anyone. So Hikari looked like she'd been asking or wanted to ask this for a while. It's just my nature.
ほら、それ、なんか冷めててひねくれてる。
Don't you think being all cold is bad? Her open expression cut right through me. But I kept it cool on the outside. And?
そうだよ。そんなだからタケたちにもしつこくちょっかいかけられるんだよ。
And when you try to be all cold solitude, it kind of catches Take's attention.
もっとフレンドリーに行こうよ。例えば、一緒に望遠鏡で星見ようぜとかさ。
Maybe you can just suggest him to go stargazing with the telescope. And I think Akito's like, so you're trying to deceive me into this, right?
ギク。
Maybe. So she really wanted to have a chance where Akito could share the telescope with everyone else. For a normally fickle person, she was being awfully persistent.
いいじゃん、見せてくれたって。一度だけでいいからさ。
Well, once it's okay. So Hikari turned suddenly defiant. Well, no,
なんでよ。理由を聞こうじゃないか。
it's personal. It's something that I want to keep to myself. And I don't have to tell you anything else.
どうして使わないのに、いつも学校に持ってきてるの？
So that's a good question. So if you don't want anyone to see it, or if you don't want to use it, what's the purpose of bringing it to school in the first place? Who knows? Well, you know, right? So I think Akito should just keep the telescope at home if he doesn't want to use it or share it. Because it just catches attention, and in a sense it makes Hikari jealous. So she looked at me, she didn't know what to do with me. Well, forget about it, let's just go to class. Oh, by the way, there's another transfer student, right?
そうだった。
So he changes the topic. It's like, oh, there's a new transfer student, right?
女の子なんだって。都会に住んでた子だって言ってたよ。どんな子だろうね。やっぱりおしゃれなのかな。読モとかそういうのやってたりするのかな。
Well, if you want to know so bad, shouldn't we just go back to class then?
そっか。じゃあ早く見つけよう。くっそー。タケのアホめどこに隠した？
So I wonder if they're going to continue looking for that missing shoe or forget about it. It didn't look like there was any way she was leaving first. I sighed and kept looking. So I finally found my indoor shoes inside a storage box in the corner of the schoolyard. Just like Hikari said, it was someone with a roof where they wouldn't get dirty. The shoes themselves were still brand new. But the bell had already rung by the time we got back to class.
やっぱ朝の会始まっちゃってるよ。
Uh-oh. So class started, and if they show up now, they're going to be tardy. Well, if you go now, we're still safe. I'll explain you were helping me. It might work.
待って。
So Hikari snuck to the back door of the classroom and opened it silently. So she's going to sneak in. Cut it out! I was shocked, but Hikari didn't listen and just peeked through the gap in the door.
Huh?
Oh. A girl was standing in front of the blackboard. Okay, so I'll leave this to the next episode. There's enough minutes for this episode. And I'm pretty sure we know who this transfer student is, based on what we see here. But we see that Akito, he brings this telescope around for no apparent reason. And it just catches attention, and he doesn't want to use it or share it, which is kind of ironic. So I think it's better if Akito left the telescope at home, because especially with Hikari, who really wants to use the telescope to do stargazing. but given her shaky track record, her parents don't want to buy her anything else. Because she tries something and then gives up, abandons it, and moves on to the next hobby. And more importantly, Takeichi, he wants to be a bully, but it's like if you know him very well, the bully tactics are pretty cheap and easy to defeat. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here, and we'll leave the introduction of this girl, who we should know, to next episode. And with that in mind, I'll see you later.